Well, hey everybody, it's HeapCVA. Welcome to my channel. How in the world are you? We are on the cusp of a weekend. It's a Friday, at least where I'm at. It's 24th. We're in the Into the Flames game. I think this is like the 7th video I've done of this. Seems like I've done some, and then again I look at the list and sometimes I'm not sure I've done any. Don't ask me what that meant. It just came out. Sorry about that. So, here we are, back to gameplay instead of that thing I did yesterday, which I try not to do very often for a million reasons. Let's get into this. I think we had seen the weekly update thing here, and he talked about several things he was trying to do. It might be a little different, but you know, most of it is just work that he's doing, and he didn't really know when it was going to show up in the game, so to speak. And remember, I'm not playing the looks like there is no beta anymore. So he had a beta, and he doesn't have it. Actually, that's probably smart. Because a bigger group is evaluating his work. I actually think that's a good thing. Some may disagree with me. I totally understand. But let's pull up July 22nd, and I think the 23rd. So yesterday and the day before, and see if there's anything in here that's really, really jumping out at me. I think we talked about build 2.5C. Can't prove it, but I thought we did. A couple things jump out at me that I know for a fact I didn't say anything about. One is the engine tool menu style. And that's when you walk up to the unit and you hit the E and the list pops up. He cleaned it up a little bit. Looks pretty good. I really like it. And the gas shutoff, we haven't been on some of those calls for a while, but the gas shutoff to me never completed. The incident never ended because there was no proof that the gas shutoff functioned. And so that was something, and certainly being able to hide the HUD, which I think is your compass up above, that doesn't bug me. But it might bug some people. I'm okay with it either way. And then he talked about removing an extra ladder truck from the map in neighborhood. I've honestly been on this game for about an hour and a half. Yes, this is take 4. I'm sorry. Some days my brain and my mouth are not connected. And I listen to myself after I get done recording, and what I said and what I meant are worlds apart sometimes. So keep your fingers crossed that, yeah, as far as you know, this is the first take. Just know that today I'm kind of struggling. Of course, when I'm trying to meet a goal, this mental wall I build sometimes comes up to trip me up where it can. In any event, honestly couldn't find out what removing the extra ladder truck meant. I can spawn it. So it's not that. One thing he added, and we'll show you when we fire the game off, is he added an option for fire spread. And he's also updated visuals of the pause menu, rescue, and ladder tool menus. I haven't done any rescue per se yet, but definitely the ladder tool menu where you stand there and you hit E and it goes through the options. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm sure he's just kind of cleaned it up. So without any further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to hit play straight out of here. It does load a little bit slower, and I'm thinking it's because he's adding more to the game. It's going to happen. So let me adjust my personal volume for the diesel noise because it, like I said, it bleeds through my headsets a little bit. And so this is pretty much the same. He is actually on early access 2.5e. I'm not sure that's what we saw, but now I would have to go back and look. I guess I'll take everybody's word for it. So we're going to go online, offline as usual. Click on that. And nobody's playing right now. That's too bad. Go into the regular game. And notice to the right we have the usual stuff about max emergency, but below it we have fire spread rate. This is going to be a great little tool for multiplayer where you could slow down fire spread, maybe to give everybody time to set up and stuff like that, especially people that aren't used to the controls. Or if you want to run through and have as many incidents as possible, have the spread rate match whatever way you want to play the game. Because I may have almost said the wrong thing. Slow fire spread means you can get on it faster, and a fast fire spread, say that 5 times fast, I dare you, means that you're going to be working hard to catch up. And they both have their application, especially with a group of guys that have been playing this game for a while, or any game like it. They're going to be busy. So real quick, let's go into the free roam map. I'm not sure I can show you a lot. But I just wanted to make sure. I mean, well, that's new just by itself right there. That is totally new. That is new from 20 minutes ago. So this guy is sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky. He's always working on this thing. I mean, you gotta like it. You might even love it. I'm just happy to see it progressing amazingly quick for what he's doing. But in any event, let's fly over to Station 2. Everything's pretty much status quo here. You know, I was talking about this thing here, and this is totally off the usual subject. But I think I figured this out. In loving memory of Mayo King. And my guess is that's a squirt bottle. And it's in loving memory of Mayo King. I assume that eventually he'll explain that to us. You know what I'm talking about? From a firefighter's point of view, I could understand it in certain... I forgot the word I want to say to kind of make it make sense. I mean, we did some stuff like that. I mean, you rarely used your regular name that your parents gave you when you were born to talk to other guys you worked with in the station. Everybody had a nickname. I might have had more than one. Some I can repeat in mixed company, and some I cannot. In fact, I'm not going to mention any of them on this channel. No, no, no. Just know that, you know, the skin of thickness, which is a version of armor, is what keeps you sane if you're a full-time firefighter. I don't know if I showed this to you last time. I did. The last video I did was a hazmat over by the prison. I had another one the next day, and I found that he has created this little sort of a dirt road in what used to be a complete hill right here, and this comes out to the beach. The water's there. I'm assuming it's a beach. I don't know. It could be a lake for all I know. And I had a hazmat out here in the middle of nowhere. This is a cul-de-sac type of environment. There's no way to get out of here. And so the upside of coming in here, and I don't think I mentioned it in any of my other videos. I might, but I seriously doubt it. Is in the image. God, come on. Just get it right. I don't want to keep redoing this take a million times. In the video I did previous, number 6, I needed help trying to figure out how to deal with hazardous materials. In this hazmat that I had a day, I'd say, or maybe 2 days later, I know how to fix it. It's ridiculously simple. But we'll deal with that in the next video, because this one is going to swap over and we're going to get on the other maps and we're going to go to the farm, because we haven't been there yet, and see what kind of mischief we can have come up with there. It is interesting as everything loads in, and there's no incentive really to drive real fast for reasons like this, where it's, you know, you're waiting for everything to load up. Not so much the streets and stuff, those aren't a problem, but it's, you know, the buildings and stuff like that. Look how I did that. That's because I don't like backing up. Anyway, let us... Yeah, I was going to look on CAD, see if there's nothing in CAD, which is weird. Usually we've had a couple of calls by now. We're going to exit this, and I'm going to exit out of this map. That has, this map link thing has also changed a little bit. Nice and clean. Definitely understand it. There's no surprises. It's easy to see. So let's go back online, offline. And we're going to move over. And one thing I should tell you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, was there a ladder truck here? The last time we were on this map and we put this fire out, was there a ladder truck right here? Let me know in the comments below, would you? Maybe it's just me. I know we've been here, and we haven't been here. The striping on the apparatus is interesting. And this vehicle being a different color. I know the first engine that was available in the game had a regular or a usual fire apparatus type cab with a water tender tanker type back to it. It's interesting to see it in this picture again. I think this picture's changed a couple of times. And as we go into this map, and I've left it at default for fire spread rate. I'm not going to say that one fast. I'll trip over that. All right, here we are. And you notice that the picture you saw has nothing to do with the vehicles that are on scene in this incident. So far, every time I've come to this map, I have experienced a fire in the house itself. I've seen some people get fires in the barn. I have not experienced that yet. So, what I'm looking for... Alright, we do have fire in the kitchen. I don't see anything going on in the upstairs yet. There's definitely a fire there. Notice how it just blew the window out. That's pretty cool. That's going to get bigger before I get my act together. And it just blew the window out in the garage. So we got a few things we need to do. So let's be the ladder truck crew for a minute and take care of that while we have the chance. So this is the menu for all that stuff. I need to get breathing apparatus and roof ops. I'm going to get chainsaw out. Climb the ladder. Actually, I should operate it first, shouldn't I? That would help, because it's a long climb if you don't. So we got fire on both floors now. It's something we didn't have when we first walked up. One thing about his game is it definitely has fire spread. And he's got that dialed in, because it is beating certain other games for that a little. So I'm going to stop right about here, and then we're going to go to the front end view, which is slightly different, and slowly work our way to the roof. You unfortunately have to put the rung actually physically through the building. Just a little bit more. I'm good with that. All right. Hit E so it stops moving. We are set up to go up there, and I want to vent the roof before we go and do anything else. Climb ladder. That's the first time I've seen his face. He's standing there staring at me. Oh, okay, he just wants to stare at me. Honestly, I have no issue with that. Now, I am curious about this roof. In the real, as they would say, this is pretty steep. You're likely to slide off. And it's not a long way to the ground, but falling 2 stories is still going to leave a mark. And so, some reality in the game is likely to come much later anyway. But in the real, there'd be a certain kind of ladder you'd be using here so that you can hook over the ridge there so that you have something to stand on. I've seen different kinds of them over the years, but I've always just used what I know as a roof ladder with the hooks. That's what we call them where I came from. And there's nothing worse than starting to slide down a roof and there's really nothing to stop you. It's not like there's a fence at the end of the roof to stop your fall. You're going over. And on a 1-story house, it hurts. You may break something. On a 2-story house, you can double the misery. And so, fortunately, we're not in that position to slide off the roof. I appreciate that. All right, so we did that stuff. I'm going to remove all. Now we're going to be the engine crew. We got the small fire engine here. And the first thing we need to do is get a water supply. Now, where do you think I should go? Let me answer your question right now. I've tried to connect to that engine. I've tried to connect to this water tanker. And I'll come over here to show you. That didn't connect. This did not connect. So you can only presume that it would be the same over here, because in the game I've been able to connect. And so we need a water supply, and there's no hydrants here. I didn't know this the first time I played this map, but if you do a little waiting and hit the E key, you are doing a version which is pretty gutsy because this hose is collapsible, but you're drafting because the engine has to suck the water out of the lake. Now, I got a little more hose than I wanted, but it all counts. So now we have a water supply, and you would use that black hose up there. That's what I know is hard suction line. Maybe we'll get a chance to use that someday. For right now, it's a nice decoration. They have it on the water tanker too. So let's get dressed because we got a fire to deal with. I need to make sure that I'm a little... I should have done that first. But first of all, let's check this door. Needs to be forced. Alright, that's going to open that. There's a door on this side, even though this is nicely vented over here. And obviously I need to do one more thing, and I think I can do it from here. Equipment. No, I can't do it from here. Back. Yeah, I can't do it from here. I got to go on the ladder truck. Go get that saw again. And my goal, and I keep clicking the wrong thing. Wow. You know, if you hit the right mouse button, you can run with the saw. If you didn't know that, you can do that. And then when you get here, click again on the right mouse button, and you're off and running to the races, as they would say. All right. That went right through me. I could feel that. Not really. Okay. So, we'll get rid of the saw. Remove all, because it doesn't seem to want to do what I wanted it to do, and I don't want to try to overthink it. So let's get breathing apparatus on. Let's get to the fun part of this, and that is doing this. We have water. I'm going to mask up. The Z key only works in Emerge NYC for this. That's why he's not doing what I want him to do. I'm pushing the wrong button. I want to be kind of aggressive with this because I want to get this fire knocked down before I need to swap an HeapCVA bottle. For those of you that know what that means, you know, in real life, you're talking 15 minutes if you're lucky. It's a 30-minute bottle, and that's great if you're sitting and watching TV, eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. If you're wearing that in a structure fire and you're dragging hose all over the place and doing a lot of work or ventilating, you're not going to get 30 minutes out of that air bottle. In fact, a lot of them use hour bottles now. I'm glad I'm not in the game, if you will, having to wear 1 hour bottles. It gets old after a while. It's a heavy deal to deal with. All right. I don't know if this door is open. It is locked. That's actually okay with me. I'll go around. One thing is you can't put the hose in your back pocket or in your turnout pocket. But we got the other doors open, so no big deal. So we're going to get aggressive. I'm going to go into first person. I want to get in here and get this fire doing what I want it to do, take control. I am moving around a lot. You got to be careful. It does sneak up on you. I haven't gotten it close enough to hurt the firefighter yet. Not that I remember. I've definitely done it in Emerge NYC today. That's when I knew my keyboard had died. You know, that new keyboard I talked about that I just got, the Cooler Master one, that the price point was too hard to pass up. And you got a keyboard and a mouse that had pretty good reviews. So I set it all up, and I don't know how long I've had it, a week and some change maybe. And everything was fine. I still had to get used to the keyboard. The mouse definitely was a different size. I had to get used to that. And sorry for the timer. I swear, if it's not my watch, it's my phone. I thought I'd turn that off. Anyway, in the last 3 days, I've lost 3 keys for letters on my keyboard, and my mouse is doing some unusual things that really are important for it not to do when I'm rendering the video. A lot of work goes into getting the video ready to render, and you don't want that to be the time that everything goes wrong. It's just not good to happen. So come on. I guess I'm going to have to chase this all the way down the alleyway here. That worked good. And so it was packed off and sent back to Amazon today. What that means is I'm back to the Corsair stuff that I've had, that the mouse, which is in service right this minute, is beginning to give me fits, but I'm putting up with it. I'm doing it because I know that as soon as I get my refunds, I can order something else and go back to work without worrying about things breaking down on me. But it does make things interesting, if nothing else. You know, it's not what I had planned on, that's for sure. We'll get through it. So far, so good. I haven't had a lot of hiccups. I haven't misspoken too much, which is very common for me. It's ventilated, so we've got better visibility. I hope that's the reason I can see better than some other places we've been. I'd like to think that anyway. That's, my wishful thinking, and it'll do. So we got to hustle because I'm watching the clock too. Is this going to open for me? It is. This reminds me of the room over a friend's house. It was an attic over the garage, and he made it into a playroom. Had a pool table, and the console games were here and everything else. I bet you there's even a word for it in some states. I just can't think of what they are. But it's furnished just like the rest. So it's got a bed and some other things. So it's more of a bedroom. I'm looking forward to him finishing the furnishings to add to the realism. I think they're both the same word, but they probably use the other one more. Come on, let's get this done. That's a figure 8 is what's making this stream do what it's doing. I'm just fooling around. Technically, all right, we got that one. We got one more room, I think. Oh, come on. Oh, I walked right through it. Come on. Watch this. This is fighting fire as a ghost. This door actually opened for me last time, so I don't know what the deal is. Well, I'll pry it open here in a second. But we pretty much knocked it down. I want to check that one thing real quick. Just because. Hand tools, Halligan. Let's make sure. Looks like we got everything. You're going to have residual smoke. That's not a big deal. I just want to make sure the fire's out. And then we can call it a day for this episode, if you will. So I'm going to get rid of this Halligan. Hand tools, axe. No, that's not really what I was supposed to click on. I'm not doing well at all. Hand tools, Halligan. Wow. Some days I should probably sleep more. Roof ops. No. E. Remove all. Equipment. Fan. Seriously. We'll see how we're doing. We'll watch it from here. Well, it's definitely cleared out the bottom already. I don't think it can clear out the garage though. Well, it did. As far as I can tell. I like this, how the building still looks burned. I like that visual, if you will. So let me get out about here. This is my visual for my thumbnail. So I'm going to keep it right here. Hit the print screen button. And say thank you so much for coming by my channel. I really appreciate it. If you got any thoughts, comments, criticisms, anything you're thinking that you want me to know, please put it in the comments below. I really appreciate it. I get right on them and respond back. At the limit, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm overthinking this. At the very least, I thumbs up everybody. If I don't respond with a text, at least give them a thumbs up. If you think I did a good job, a thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you give me a thumbs down, if you could take just a second to let me know why. I just want to correct my shortcomings, which are many, to put out the best content I can. At the end of the day, please consider subscribing if you would. It must provide some benefit, and if you click that bell, I at least know that it lets you know when there's a new video on my channel, or I think it also lets you know when somebody's responded to or commented on even your comment. So, I think we're to a point. I'll get to making this into a video. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'd like to get it up today. I wish you guys a great weekend. Hopefully you got time off and you get to do something you really want to do. I'll talk to you in another video. You guys take care.